Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ito na si SP Chiz naman.
Ni Chief Justice
Nung sa kung ano man ang magiging desisyon ng Supreme Court dun sa mga pending petitions regarding the impeachment now.
ano man ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema, dadaan pa rin yan sa impeachment court. Bigyan kita ng halimbawa, RG. Nung panahon ng impeachment ni Chief Justice Corona, nagbaba ng temporary restraining order ang Korte na huwag buksan yung kanyang foreign currency deposit accounts.
Actually, napanood ko yun eh. Actually, may sinabi doon si Chiz, di ba? Sinabi na, di ba kayo yung pita-pita buksan yan, ayan, willingly nagbigay ng waiver para buksan nyo, tapos hindi nyo gagamitin. Alam ko yun yung sinabi niya, di ba?
Ang ginawa ng Senado noon sa isang caucus, hindi pa nga sa plenaryo eh. Sa isang caucus, pinagpasahan, attended physically and virtually by the members of the Senate, kung susundin ba o hindi yung TRO ng Korte Suprema.
Anong ginawa?
Kung titingnan mo, parang may mali, di ba? Pwede ba kami magdesisyong hindi sumunod o sumunod? Choice ba namin yun? Pero yun yung precedent na ginawa ng Senado noon.
Okay.
By a vote of 13-10,
So, ibig sabihin may reference point ka na sumunod. So, paano yun? Paano? So, dapat sumunod. O hindi sumunod. Pero daan pa rin nga ng ano. Sige.
ang pasya ng Senado noon ay sundin yung TRO ng Korte Suprema. Kaya hindi
O sinunod eh. So, kung yun ang reference point mo, nag-vote sila, nasundin. Kaso nga lang, dito papasok yung ano eh. Ako, kailangan ko kasi maging ano eh. Kailangan ko kasing maging loyal sa logic and philosophy. Pero kasi, sinabi nga, ang kung argumento is unique ang bawat Congress. Kaso, pag sinabi ng unique bawat Congress, edi hindi nga tatawid. Okay, there's a bitter pill to swallow. Pero, kayo na bahalang mamili. Kayo na bahalang mamili. Kasi, lumalabas yun sa argumento ni Chiz. Gumawa silang president. So, may reference point na nag-agree sila na sundin yung Korte Suprema. Okay? 1.1. Ang counter-argument is this. Sui generis. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng i-bind yung next Congress sa action ng past Congress. Right? Tama? Make sense, di ba? Di ba? Yun nga yung argumento sa hindi magko-crossover ni Francis Tolentino. Tama. Like, guys, are you following me? Are you following me with this one? Okay. So ngayon, may problema tayo. May paradox. Ulit. Ang paradox is, it's either you affirm or you follow yung president, which is, nag-agree na i-follow yung Supreme Court, yung decision ng Supreme Court, or hindi. Okay? Pero dahil nga ang argumento mo is unique yung bawat Congress, hindi sila pwedeng i-bind ng past Congress. So meaning, nakadepende pa rin sa Congress ngayon o sa Senate ngayon, right? Kung nakadepende pa rin sa Senate ngayon, so ibig sabihin, hindi nga magka-crossover. Kasi nakadepende nga eh. Diba? Hindi pwede i-bind. Pero ngayon, kung nakadepende yun, hindi mo kailangan sundin yung past reference point ng Senado. Nakikita niyo yung ano? Nakikita niyo yung paradox. Press 1 kung nakita niyo yung paradox. Kasi may contradiction tayo doon na hindi natin alam which is which. Okay? We cannot solve it. So, I guess, mag-i-stick pa rin dito yung premise na independent sila, they can decide independently sa kahit anong Congress. I think ito yung mangingibabaw dito, right? Para sa akin mangingibabaw dito yung unique itong Congress na to. They can act according to their own rules, not binding yung past actions ng Senate. Feeling ko ito yung mangingibabaw dito. Pero kung yun yung mangingibabaw dito, then why the hell are you using those past actions as your reference point? That doesn't make any sense. Okay? We have a paradox here. And second problem with that kind of argument, SPGs. Don't get me wrong. I agree. I agree, pero ito is the problem. Kailangan ko maging loyal sa logic at philosophy. Okay? Why? Ito kasi, yung problema, yung problem of induction, ito yon. Kasi, ang ginagawa ni Senate President Chiz Escudero is nagre-reference siya ng past actions ng Senate to prove his point. Right? But here's the problem. You are wrongly assuming that that logic is flawed. Why? You wrongly assume that the future will resemble the past. The problem of induction. That Russell's chicken argument, David Hume, yung problem of induction, that's inductive reasoning eh. Pwedeng tama lahat ng sinabi mong premises na yon, pero mali conclusion mo. Okay? Kasi nga, hindi ibig sabihin mga reference points kang ganon, binding na yun sa future. Hindi. Gets? Kagulo yan pag di nila sinunod. Magkakagulo talaga. But, I think, ang magiging tamang conservative action here is vote on it. Again, SPGs, dahil ba buhay ka the past 50 years, ibig sabihin buhay ka bukas. Di ba? Hindi ibig sabihin it happened in the past, it will resemble the future or the present. So, flawed yung argument na yun. That's weak. Kasi nga, kayo na rin nagsabi na unique yung bawat Congress. Hindi binding sa past Congress. So, irrelevant na yung president. Mas slippery slope ba yan kayo? Hindi, slippery slope is negative, yung sumunod na dahil sa isang act, dire-diretso na. Hindi slippery slope. So, may problem tayo dito. Non-sequitur. At sa formal one. Hindi ibig sabihin nangyari noon. Since the axiom is, kasi, ganito ano yung first premise? Ano yung strongest axiom ba? Ang strongest axiom ba, kung ano yung ginawa ng Senate in the past, yun yung gagawin nyo? Or, ang strongest axiom is, every Congress is unique, cannot be binded with past Congress, hindi pwedeng pilitin sa actions ng past Congress or ng past Senate. Yun ba yung axiom? If that's the strongest axiom, then your argument na ginawa ng Senate yon, ng President ng Senate yon, is irrelevant now. So you have to choose. You have to choose which path you're gonna die. Sorry. Okay? Feeling ko kasi ang mangingibabaw dito, sorry kayo, lawyer din po kayo, like attorney, new lang po sa channel review. Hindi ako ako, street philosopher. See the beard? Yeah, ermitaño. Let's go. Yun lang gusto ko lang pakita sa inyo yung problem of induction. Kasi hindi ibig sabihin, nangyari in the past, then it's binding in the future or the present. Hindi ibig sabihin nangyari yun, ginagawa mo reference point yun, pero it doesn't necessarily follow na it is now. Right? That's the problem of induction ni David Hume tsaka ni Russell's chicken.
Di binuksan yung foreign currency deposits ni dating Chief Justice Corona. Sa Kamara naman nandun ako, nag-issue din ng TRO ang Supreme Court laban sa impeachment kay Chief Justice Davide. Kung maalala mo yun. Pero wala pa sa Senado yun, nasa Kamara pa lamang. Hindi yun sinunod ng Kamara. Tinuloy pa rin sa botohan, subalit hindi
Minsan ermitanyo, madalas nostra kayo.
Hindi nakakuha ng kinakailangang one-third vote, kaya na-dismiss yun. Pero yung TRO, pinipigilan ng Kamara na magpursige pa o mag-proceed sa anumang impeachment kabilang ang botohan laban kay dating Chief Justice Davide. So magkaibang sitwasyon, magkaibang Kamara, magkaibang karanasan.
So, ibig sabihin, ang argumento dito is nakadepende. Right? Pero nagsaset kasi sila ng president. So, ang tanong dito is gaano kalakas, gaano ka-binding yung president. And I guess, ang sagot din dito ni Chiz Escudero is not binding. Mananaig yung we are unique. Sui generis. Tapos, mananaig din na iba tong composition ng Congress na to kaysa dati. Hindi mo pwedeng puwersahin yung past and this Congress because of the actions of the Senate in the past. You cannot do that. Okay? Believe of logic and critical thinking po si Kayo sa na din nostra kayo siya.
Sir, yun yung universe of options ng Senado. You either follow or you don't follow the Supreme Court. And of course, pag-ubotohan yun.
Yeah. So the point is, it depends. Pagbobotohan. The final answer is pagbobotohan. That's the ultimate answer. It depends. Pagbobotohan namin. Ganun, yun lang. Kaya nga sabi niya, dadaan ng Senate.
Tama, pagbobotohan yun. Hindi sa pagpapasya ng tagapangulo lamang o presiding officer lamang ng Senado. It'll be decided by the impeachment court.
And I ask that because in the last few days, you've been criticized, you've been hit dahil nga supposedly may pinapaboran ka daw for political expediency. How do you respond to that?
Klaro din may
Pinabasa ko yung kasi hinahanap ko yung gusto sabihin ni Yusek dito. Binabasa ko. Tapos, may nakita ako. Having concluded that the initiation takes place by the act of filing of the impeachment complaint and referral to the House Committee on Justice, the initial action taken thereon, the meaning of Section 3, Paragraph 5 of Article 11 becomes clear. Once an impeachment complaint has been initiated in a foregoing manner, another may not be filed against the same official. Okay? Fine, Associate Justice referred in fine, considering the first impeachment complaint was filed by former Estrada along with 7 associate of this court on June 3 and referred to the House Committee on Justice, inaffirm dito na ito ay initiated. The second impeachment complaint by Representatives Gilberto C. Violates the constitutional prohibition against the initiation and impeachment of proceedings. So, ang dito pala is, nai-refer na. So, ang case itong tinatalakay is, nai-refer na sa Committee on Justice. So, parang lumalabas, kasi, meron pinakita nasa yung kay Yusek. Wala. Ito, yung kay Mercedita. Ito, as pointed, may pinakita siya after nun, hindi lang natin inabutan. So, may pinakita siya. As pointed out in Francisco, the impeachment proceeding is not initiated when the House deliberates on the resolution passed onto its by committee because something prior to that has already been done. The action of the House is already a further step in the proceeding, not its initiation or beginning. Rather, the proceeding is initiated or begins when a verified complaint is filed and referred to the Committee on Justice for action. This is the initiating step which triggers the series of steps followed. Ngayon, kung makikita nyo dito, meron dito nakalagay na are deemed initiated. Yung deemed initiated, saan na dito yun? Nabasa ko kanina ito eh. Deemed initiated. Ito. Saan to? Sa Francisco to Finally, it should be noted that the House rule relied upon the Representative Cojuangco Fuentabella says that the impeachment is deemed initiated when the Justice Committee votes in favor of impeachment or when the House reverses a contrary vote of the committee. Note that the rule doesn't say impeachment proceedings are initiated but are deemed initiated. The language is a recognition that initiation happened earlier. But by legal fiction there is an attempt to postpone it to a time after actual initiation. Dito nagkaroon ng tension. So ang lumalabas ngayon yan dahil sa decision Supreme Court ngayon ay dalawang problema, two problems yung tinatry na solvin. Una, yung sinabi kong naalala niyo, kinoment ko yung kay Atty. Libayan yung forum shopping, di ba? Di ba ang forum shopping is, naghahanap ka ng tamang forum na favorable sa case mo. Di ba ganun yun sa forum shopping? So parang nag-file ka sa iba-ibang forum na parang kung ano dun yung mas favorable, yun yung forum shopping, right? Tama ba? So, okay. Ito naman in reverse. Forum shopping in reverse kasi naghahanap ka ng mga cases na favorable sa impeachment. Nagets nyo? It's in reverse. Yung dalawang yun yung kailangan solvin na Supreme Court. Bakit lawful yan? Dapat yung sa UP ang basahin. Salamat bro, Russell's dad. So ito nakalagay dito. Substance shopping. Correct. Ito in reverse. Kasi nangongolekta ka naman ng cases na favorable sa iyo for impeachment. That's in reverse, right? Initiated but rather are deemed initiated. The language is recognition that initiation happened earlier but legal fiction there is an attempt to postpone it to a time after actual initiation. As stated earlier, means of interpreting constitutions looking at intent. Fortunately, the intent of the framers 77 can be pried from its records. Can be pried from its records. Mr. Mambong, with reference to Section 3 regarding procedures, substantive provisions on the impeachment, I understand there have been many proposals, and I think this would need some time for committee action. However, I would just like to indicate that I submitted to the committee a resolution on impeachment proceedings, copies of which had been furnished. It is born out of my experience as a member of the Committee on Justice, Human Rights and Good Government, a government which took charge as impeachment resolution filed first Batasang Pambansa, blah blah blah, Speaker action, calendar report, voting on the report, transmittal for the Senate, just blah blah blah. Presiding, I'm not moving reconsideration approval of this amendment. We really do not initiate the filing of the articles of impeachment on the floor. The procedure, as I pointed out earlier, was that the initiation starts with the filing of the complaint. So, ito. Wait. So, ito yung sinasabi sa framers, 'di ba? As stated earlier, one of the means of interpreting constitution is looking into the intent of the law. Fortunately, the intent of the framers of the 1987 Constitution can be pried from its records. Ito yung records. Ito yung records. Sir Maambong, I'm not moving on reconsideration. The procedure, as I have pointed out earlier, was that the initiation starts with the filing of the complaint. And what is actually done on the floor is that the committee resolution containing the articles is one approved by the body. As the phraseology now runs, which may be corrected by the committee on style, it appears that initiation starts on the floor. If we only have time, I could cite examples in the case of impeachment proceedings, Richard Nixon, where the committee, judicial, blah, blah, blah. It is not the body which initiates it, only approves or disapproves the resolution. So, On that score, probably committee style, blah, 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 I have been bringing blah, blah, blah. I have submitted a proposal, committee decided to keep it on the record, okay? Would just like to move consideration, formulation. I'm proposing the Madam President doing the motion will delete the words which said to initiate impeachment proceedings and the comma and insert the line. Ito yung ginagawa nila, yung mga framers. And then capitalize the letter I in impeachment and replace the word by with OF, blah, blah, blah. I already mentioned yesterday that its initiation as far as the House Representative of the United States is concerned really starts from the filing of the verified complaint. And every resolution to impeach always carries with it the articles of impeachment. As a matter of fact, the words articles of impeachment are mentioned on line 25 in the case of direct filing of a verified complaint of 1/3 of all members of the House. I will mention again, Madam President, that my amendment will not vary the substance in any way. It is only keeping with the uniform procedure of the House of Representatives of the States Congress. Thank you, Madam President. Oh. This amendment by Commissioner Maambong was clarified and accepted by Committee on Accountability Public Officers. It is thus clear that the framers intended initiation to start with the filing of the complaint. It is thus clear that the framers intended initiation to start with the filing of the complaint. Sabi ko ipakita mo kasi Yusek Claire Castro. Oh. Ipakita mo kasi. Okay. That's the intention of the framers pala. Oh. It is thus clear that the framers intended initiation to start with the filing of the complaint. Explain that the obvious reason in deleting the phrase to initiate impeachment proceedings as contained in the text of the provision section 3 was to settle and make it understood once and for all that the initiation of impeachment proceedings starts with the filing of the complaint. And the vote of 1/3 of the House in a resolution impeachment doesn't initiate the impeachment proceedings, which were already initiated by the filing of a verified complaint under Section 3, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution. Oh! Yan pala yung malinaw pala. Salamat, Yusek Claire, ha? Kasi dinalaw ko talaga eh. Tapos chinek ko. Tapos nung binabasa ko, hinahanapan kita ng argumento actually. Hinahanap ko yung gusto mong argumento. Hinahanap ko para sa'yo. Pero ito yung nakita ko. Shit. Yan yung nakita ko eh. Oh. So, ngayon, question natin. Sino ba sa decision na ginamit niya, Mercedita yata yun eh. Parang sinabi daw na yun daw. Ito yung NBank din data, diba? Sino sa dalawa? Sabihin natin, let's agree muna. Kunyari muna, for the sake of argument, nag-agree na yun lang yung way to interpret an initiation is kapag ka na-refer na, file verified complaint, and referred to Committee on Justice ba yun? Yun. Yun lang yung definition. Question. Sa ginawa na Supreme Court ngayon, sino ang mas tumalima sa intention ng framers? Pag-isipan nyo rin. Pag-isipan nyo rin. Kasi dito nakalagay, oh. It is thus clear that the framers intended initiation to start with the filing of the complaint. Commissioner Maambong explained that the obvious reason in deleting the phrase to initiate impeachment proceedings as contained in the text of the provision of Section 3, Paragraph 3, was to settle and make it understood once and for all that the initiation of impeachment proceedings starts with the filing of the complaint. And vote of 1/3 in the House of Resolution impeachment doesn't initiate the impeachment proceedings, which was already initiated by the filing of a verified complaint. Father Bernas explains that in these two provisions, the common verb is to initiate. The object in the first sentence is impeachment case. The object in the second sentence is impeachment proceeding. Following the principle of the redendo singuala sinuilis, the term cases must be distinguished from the term proceedings. An impeachment case is the legal controversy must be decided by the Senate. Above quoted first provision, blah blah blah. Basta gusto ko lang pakita sa inyo. Bakit tayo kay kay Chiz.
Paboran naman sila at may nilalabanan sila.
Ano?
Hindi, may pinapaboran ka daw for political expediency. How do you respond to that?
Ako hindi ko magets yung mga ganyan. Yung may pinapaboran o wala. Unang-una, hindi naman sila korte na judges ng korteng katulad sa Supreme Court na wala silang access doon sa di ba? Hindi sila parang ang Supreme Court kasi is politically insulated, right? Kasi makikita mo 'yan sa mga normal na tao na hini-hear nila, right? O ngayon, etong Senate ay hindi. Bakit? Kasi yung mga impeachment na yan ay yung mga sikat yan na tao at malalaking tao. They cannot escape that shit. So, wag nyo ikumpara. Laging meron niyang bias. Ang problema, yung mga nagkasabing may bias ka na, sa tingin nila wala silang bias. Yun yung problema. Putek, mamili nga kayo, sabi nyo, hindi legal, political, tapos galit din kayo pag nga political, so ano na lang.
Klaro din, may pinapaboran naman sila at may nilalabanan sila. Anong pinagkaiba nun?
Correct! Exactly, Chiz. Tama ka.
Na hindi ako sang-ayon sa gusto ng mga grupong ito na nananawagan na mag-inhibit ako sa kaso. Hindi nangangahulugang tama sila at mali ako. Hindi nangangahulugang may pinapanigan ako. Bakit sila? Meron ba? O wala? Meron, klaro, di ba?
Meron, tama. Katarantaduhan niyang wala.
Sinabi ko na yan nung simula. Hindi ako makikinig at hindi ko papakinggan ilang araw pa lamang matapos
Si Boss Dede yun
file yung impeachment. Sino mang nakapagpasya na sa kasong ito, pabor man o kontra kay VP Sara, pabor man
Live si Yusek, sabi paano daw pag bogus yung unang nagkaso. Sinagot ng Supreme Court.
o kontra sa impeachment. Gagawin namin kung ano ang tingin namin ay tama, dapat at naayon sa batas. At hindi kami magpapadala sa anumang ingay o gulo o rally na pipilit sa amin gumawa ng isang bagay na sa tingin namin ay mali.
Okay, at the rate things are going, mukhang magsasabay ang impeachment trial and budget deliberations.
Yes.
Yan.
And
Yan yung gusto namin. Humanda ka na, Tambi.
isa sa mga articles of impeachment has something to do with the budget. Hindi ba awkward, lalo na when the budget comes to the Senate? Tapos nagtatrial kayo ng impeachment on another matter, on the budget.
Man, kailangan namin pa rin gawin yun. Pag-usapan muna natin ang schedule. Ipapanukala ako, pero kailangan pagpasahan pa yan ang mayoriya ng Senado, hindi lamang ng impeachment court, pati ng Senado, yung schedule. Mas pipiliin ko sana na ang impeachment trial ay sa umaga at sa hapon.
Iba pala yung budget deliberation. Pero doon sa susunod na controversy yung sa di ba? Sa budget. Manda ka na, Tambi.
Magpatuloy ang session
Sulak tambalos-los.
namin ng normal ng alas 3 ng hapon para meron kaming nakalagay na oras na 5 hanggang 6 na oras para sa impeachment araw-araw. Hanggang Webes naman yun Pagdating ng Webes, de buong araw yun. Monday to Wednesday lang naman. At kapag may session lang naman. Kapag walang session, de buong araw yun. Para magpatuloy pa rin yung aming trabaho kaugnay ng legislation. Hindi lamang sa panukalang budget, pati dun sa ibang panukalang batas na mahalaga nasa batas. Suggestion yun na kailangan
Finality, yung August 4 na lumabas sa media.
suggestion yun na kailangan aprubahan ng Senado. Is requirement. Pero nagpasya kami ngayong araw na to. Bukas, nagpasyahan yan, kailangan may notice requirement ka sa parties. Hindi naman pwede nagpasya kami ng umaga, hapon, papuntahin na sila dito. Hindi naman pwede nagpasya kami ngayong araw na to. Bukas, dito na kayo. Hindi. May notice requirements yon, reasonable notice. So, pag nagpasya ang Senado, nang sabihin natin Martes, o Miyerkules, sapat na notice na yun sa mga parties na mag-appear kung sakasakali sa August 4 kung yun ang mapagpapasahan ng Senado.
One of the penalties for impeachment, of course, is perpetual disqualification from public office.
Absolute perpetual
Absolute.
disqualification.
So, and the Vice President is matunog sa mga surveys na presidential candidate. And there are also names in surveys that include some senators for the presidency. So there is this possibility na yung mga maghuhuwes sa kanya o kasama doon sa mga maghuhuwes sa kanya could potentially gain from taking her out.
Exactly. Galing ah. Oh.
I mean, may aasahan ba talagang anong klaseng accountability or truth ba ang maaasahan in such a process na kasama sa mga maghuhuwes yung mga posibleng makinabang doon sa penalty doon sa akusado?
Ibalik pa na, i-rewind mo pa ng konti, RG. Kasama din sa mga nagsampa ng kaso laban sa kanya, yung maaari niyang makalaban
Tama. Kasama na yon.
sa 2028. Hindi lang naman sa huwes eh. Pero pinili ng framers ng ating saligang batas na magpapasya ng bagay na ito pagsampa
Pag nanalo si VP, iyak talaga lang.
man ng kaso o pag-convict o pag-acquit ay mga halal ng bayan. Mga politiko, ika nga. So bahagi sa konsiderasyon na nila yan. Nung yan ang naging daan sa pagpapanagot ng ilang impeachable officers sa ilalim ng konstitusyon. Pero may pambawi din naman sila. Public dapat yung hearing, so hindi ka pwede magtago ng feelings at ng boto mo.
Tama.
Pangalawa, nanghingi sila ng extraordinary majority, 2/3, ika nga. At hindi simple majority lang ng may quorum. So, binalanse, pinantay, pinag-aralan nila yan.
Namitigate naman nga din yun.
At yan ang dapat nating sundin at subaybayan. Yung binabanggit mo, hindi naman kailayan sa ating mga kababayan. So, gagamitin nila yan pagdating ng panahon na sila mamimili kung tumakbo man nga itong mga senador na sinasabi mo. Kung karapat-dapat nga ba silang mamuno ng ating bansa pagkatapos nilang gawin yan. Kumbaga, iligpit o limitahan yung kanyang pwede makalaban sa darating na eleksyon. Ang paniniwala ko kasi sa bagay na yan, lahat ng pagtakbo ko siguro, hindi mo pwedeng limitahan yung mga kalaban mo. Talunin mo na lang sa eleksyon, maliban na lang kung ikaw yung matalo. Di ba? Hindi mo dapat pa siya na limitahan o pagbawal ang sino mang gustong lumaban o sino
Tell that to Romualdez. Ay, sorry. Tell that to Romualdez, dude.
mang gustong tumakbo sa anumang pwestong tinatakbuhan mo rin.
Okay, my final question. Given the state of affairs and at the beginning of the interview nga sabi mo masalimuot ang magiging lagay ng politika in the foreseeable future. Hopefully not in the next 3 years, no? But mukhang ganon.
Basta yung kay Romualdez, wala kasing kalaban, di ba? Hindi limitahan. Walang kalaban eh.
Anong magiging pakinabang ng taong bayan doon sa ganong klaseng pagiging masalimuot at bangayan? What is the path forward?
Well, pinapakita at pinapatunayan nun na sa kabila na
Same thought kay Tambi, disqualified ang kalaban. Kaya
ang ingay at bangayan sa politika, na nananatiling matatag ang ating pamahalaan at demokrasya. Pinili nating demokrasya ang sistema sa ating bansa, RG. Hindi natin pinili na may isang magaling, matalino at mabait lamang na mamumuno. Diktador man o benevolent dictator man ang tawag sa kanya. Pinili nating demokrasya tayo kung saan
yan talaga mangyayari pag si VP nanalo. Iba naman utak ni VP, mas malala sa dati niya. Totoo, narinig ko nga. Mas iba raw yun.
merong mga magkakaibang pananaw na bagaman hindi tayo sumasang-ayon, natututulan natin sa abot kaya ng ating pwedeng isigaw sa rally o sa lansangan man, karapatan pa rin niyang paniwalaan at sabihin at gawin yun. Tinuturuan niyan tayo ng maturity siguro, pasensya siguro sa isa't isa. Upang sa gayon, pag may mas mabibigat pa tayong problema, hidwaan, awayan at bangayan, na maaaring harapin bilang isang bansa at bilang isang lahi, mas kakayanin na natin yon kung dumating man yung pagkakataong yon.
Sudutin ko lang ng konti. Can we still be productive as a country na ganon, masalimuot?
Yes, but it will be more difficult than when it is peacetime. Kaya, pero may hamon lang tayong mga dapat lampasan at naniniwala.
Dami speech para Presidente
Pero pinipigilan na yun sinunod ng Kamara.
Ito lang naman yung point dito.
Alala mo yun, Pero wala pa sa Senado yun, nasa acting Chief Justice Corona. Sa Kamara naman, nandun ako, nag-issue ang pasya ng Senado noon ay sundin yung TRO ng Korte Suprema, kaya hindi binuksan yung foreign currency deposits ni dating Chief Justice Corona. Sa Kamara naman, nandun ako.
Kasi yun yung argumento. Sabi ko nga, kasi ano eh. Kasi isa rin yung sa in-issue ko eh. Kasi nga, di naman binding yung actions nung mga nakaraang Senado, di ba? So, feeling ko ang mangyayari dito is talagang ultimately, ang magiging move dito is pagbobotohan pa rin. Kumbaga, according pa rin sa desisyon ng bawat isang senador, kung ano mangyayari, kung susundin nila o hindi yung Supreme Court. Pero, kung hindi man nila sundin yung Supreme Court, I think, for me I think VP can always invoke the Supreme Court decision. So, paano yun? Let's say, hindi umatin si VP Sara doon dahil ini-invoke niya yung ng Supreme Court. Then, iko-contempt siya ng Senado? Ganon? No, ikukulong siya? Ganon? Bakit? O hindi pwede ng executive side? Bakit? Ano ang magiging basihan ng executive side? Na hulihin, arestuin si VP Sara? Wala. As a judicial side. So, paano? Feeling ko, kung ako yun, kung ako, sampal ko lang sa yung decision ng Supreme Court, tapos na. Ba't pupunta dyan sa kangaroo court nyo? Diba? Ito, tunay na korte, nag-decide na. So,